We all love to travel. So here's the big question. Do I use a travel agent or just do it myself? I've got the insider secrets of when to use and when not to use a travel agent. Hi, I'm Larry Gelwix, the Getaway Guru, and welcome to my travel channel. The purpose of the Getaway Guru is to help you see the world, travel more, and pay less. And if you're new to my travel channel, please remember the big three. Subscribe, turn on the notifications, and if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Well, our question is, do I use a travel agent or do I just plan travel on my own? And you know the answer to both questions is yes. There's times when you are just flat out crazy not to use the services of a knowledgeable and professional travel agent. Emphasis on knowledgeable and professional. And there are other times when you're really better off just doing it yourself. So let's find out when to use a travel agent and when to do it on your own. The first thing to understand in making this decision is, how does a travel agent and a travel agency make their money? There's really two primary sources of income. The first are commissions earned from the sale of travel. These are paid by travel suppliers such as cruise lines, hotels, resorts, tour companies. So you come to me and I book your cruise. I am compensated by the cruise line. It costs you nothing for my professional services. Now, the second source of income are service fees. These are for professional services rendered. Now, these may include simply issuing an airline ticket only, nothing else involved, or for more extensive and detailed travel planning. Well, the question obvious is, how much are these service fees? Well, like any professional service, it really depends on the time, effort, and the services requested. So what do? Always ask, is there a service fee involved with my travel planning? So let's talk about when not to use a travel agent. You simply want to buy a domestic airline ticket, Denver to New York, Chicago, Miami, Salt Lake to Los Angeles. You're really better off going to the airline website and buying your ticket direct. You can avoid a travel agency service fee. Travel agencies are paid no commissions by airlines. It actually costs us something to issue an airline ticket, hence the need for a service fee. Now, that's fine for a domestic ticket, Larry, but what if I want to travel internationally? If you want to buy an international travel ticket, you've really got three sources for purchasing that ticket. One, obviously, is directly from the airline. The second is a third-party website. There's quite a few of them out there. They're also known as consolidator websites or aggregator websites, where they pull all information from many airlines together and let you pick and choose. Now, there's some very good sites out there, but you want to be very careful. The devil's in the details. I've seen some really low prices for international travel, but literally there was a 27-hour layover in Guangzhou, China to get this particular price. Well, what are you going to do for 27 hours at the airport? Remember, on the third-party websites, you are not dealing directly with the airline in most cases, but with a third party. And if you have a problem, what are you going to do? Talk to your laptop? Let me give you a case in point. One of our subscribers to the Getaway Guru wrote me a note that she had bought tickets to Puerto Vallarta. Then the pandemic hit and her flights were canceled. She went to the airline and asked for a refund, but they said, wait a minute, you bought the ticket from X, Y, and Z, the website. You got to go back to them. Well, it took her days and days and days to get anyone to even answer the phone, and then they simply refused to give her a refund, even though they were legally required to do so. She was out of state, a long distance. Some of these websites are even outside the United States. Then you've got a real problem. They said, we'll give you a future travel credit, but that's not what she wanted. She wanted her money back. Now, then the third source of buying a ticket is from a travel agent you can sit down with. So you got directly from the airline, third-party website, or your travel agent. Now, with that international ticket, you also want to be made aware of special entry requirements or documentation. Let me give you two examples. I love Australia. I think I've been to Australia 20, 25 times. Just love the people, love the country. So I got my passport, I got my ticket to Sydney. Is that all I need? No. Australia has a special entry requirement called an Entry Travel Authority, an ETA. You have to fill this out and get the authority approval online before you travel. I've actually been at LAX and seen people turned away from a flight, denied boarding. They had their passport, they had their ticket, but they didn't have their Australia ETA. Thailand. I love Thailand. You know, if it weren't for my kids and grandkids, I'd be living there right now. Thailand also has a special entry requirement. You've got to have at least 6 months validity on your passport after your travel dates, beyond your travel dates, and at least 4 blank passport pages. Yes, I've seen people turned away from a flight because they didn't have the validity on their passport. Be careful, know who you're dealing with in purchasing your international travel tickets. Now, there's another reason not to use a travel agent. You know, most of the travel agents that I know are dedicated professionals. They're knowledgeable. They're going to save you a lot of time and money. But how do I say this politely? I've met some that don't know their head from the hole in the ground. I mean, they're simply order takers, and you probably know more than they do. A knowledgeable professional travel agent is a creative option giver. So if you've got an agent that just doesn't know what's going on, you know, they're kind of clueless, get rid of them. Find a new travel agent to help you out. Now, some people will say, you know, I don't use a travel agent because, Larry, I just love to do the research and the planning of my travel. It adds so much excitement to the whole experience. I say, great. I encourage that. Take some time, take some effort to learn what you want to do, narrow down your choices and selections, and then bring all that information to your professional, knowledgeable travel advisor, and let's just see if we can add something to it. I'll give you an example. Not long ago, I had a client come in who had been doing some research, and they were ready to book a river cruise. Now, this particular cruise with one of the top cruise lines offered, catch this, a $1,000 per booking discount, $500 per person. That's fantastic. And said, Larry, I was just about to book this myself, but I remember what you said. Sometimes you can add something to it, some extra amenities, some freebies, some giveaways. And so we took a look at the river cruise, and I said, you know, that $1,000 is really a good deal. And they were nodding approvingly. But I said, you know, I have a special contract with this top-rated river cruise company. My discount is $1,500 per booking, $750 per person. It was better than dealing with the cruise line direct. Now, many of the top travel agencies do have special arrangements. That's why I say get all the information and then go to your favorite travel agent who can help you out. Now, let's take a look at some really good reasons to use the professional services of a good travel agent. I think the number one is expert knowledge and experience. You've heard me talk about gray smarts, you know, this gray hair. There's things in life that you only learn through time and experience. There's no book learning for this stuff. And in my 40 years in the travel business, I've been just about everywhere. I've done just about everything. So rather than opening a book and saying, well, this is what you get to do, I can talk about the experiences, the activities, the things that you want to see, the things that you want to avoid, and I can talk to you from personal experiences. Now, I think it's a good idea to establish a personal relationship with your travel advisor. I mean, you have a doctor, a dentist, a hairdresser that you want to go back to. Why? Because you have that personal relationship with him or her. They know you, you know them, and they can anticipate what your needs are and the things that you like. They may call you up and say, hey, listen, I know that you've been looking at the Rhine River. Well, this crazy deal just came up. It's thinking ahead of what you may do. I had a person that just booked a hotel and air package to Puerto Vallarta. I happen to know personally the manager. I contacted the manager on their behalf and just said, hey, would you take care of these people? He's going to meet them personally, and I think he's going to throw in some extra freebies and amenities for them. Now, another reason to use a professional travel advisor is let him or her be your advocate. Canceled flights, delays, weather, other problems. You get ill, you get sick. I mean, all sorts of things can come up. I suppose we've all seen at the airport a canceled flight and that long line that goes down the concourse with people lined up at customer service to get rebooked and scrambling for the few remaining seats. Well, if you're dealing with a professional travel agent, go get a table, have a nice lunch, call up your agent and just say, hey, my flight's been canceled. Please get me on the next available flight. Did you know that travel agents have special hotlines to cruise lines and airlines and bypass the general reservation? Well, you know, the next available call will be in 8 hours. Well, who wants to go through that? Remember back during the pandemic when all sorts of travel was being canceled and people asking for refunds? Customers here at Columbus Travel and other travel agencies, you just come in and say, listen, Larry or Bill or Barbara, will you take care of this? And we process the refund, often through these special hotlines. I know of people who booked travel themselves last spring, requested a refund for a cruise or a tour, and you know what? They're still waiting for their refund a year later. And now the big reason that seems to catch everybody's attention of why to use a travel agent. A good, professional, knowledgeable travel agent is going to save you a ton of money and a lot of time. Now, here's an insider travel secret. Have you ever heard of a special discounted airfare called a tour operator fare? Probably not. I happen to call it the secret airfare. Well, why secret? These are deeply discounted airfares that you can't buy from the airline. You call the airline reservation desk, they don't even know about them. But what's interesting is you cannot buy air only. It has to be packaged with something. Maybe it's a hotel or a resort. Maybe it's an airfare. Maybe it's all three. But when you look at the packaged or bundled price, it is often less than the airfare alone, and certainly less than if you bought all the components individually. Now, many, not all travel agencies have access to these secret airfares or tour operator fares. We here at Columbus Travel do have access to them, and we use them with our clients to provide a package where you just save so much money. Now, another reason to use a good travel agent is to avoid a scam. I mean, how irritating is it? How many phone calls are you getting with some great promotion and they want your credit card? They usually say they're from a major hotel or cruise line or airline, but you really know who you're talking to? Is it a scam? Sit down with a professional agent and you know that you're going to get a legitimate deal. And if there's a problem, you can sit down with your agent face to face and work through that problem and have the trip of a lifetime. Well, here's just a parting thought for you. In theory, is there anything that you can't do that your attorney does? Well, in theory, the answer is no. But in reality, yes, you're not going to be able to replicate what your attorney does. It's time, it's experience, and knowledge. And so it is in travel. In theory, can you do everything that I can do? In theory, yes. But in reality, no. When you find a good professional travel agent, just hold on to him or her, and they're going to guide you through a lot of savings, and your trip will be the great experience that you are hoping to achieve. Now remember, if you're new to my travel channel, please remember the big three. Subscribe, turn on the notifications, and please give me a thumbs up. And for the best travel deals on the planet, give us a call at Columbus Travel, 800-373-3328, or online at columbusvacations.com.